Okay, is that the cold open?
That was my new Titan sound. You ready?
And
I was
Spencer's
watching.
asleep.
I was listening to a podcast.
Sounds like a loogie.
Sounds like
I
you're
was listening
asleep.
to a podcast the other day called The Horror Virgin. It's a very funny podcast. It's about these guys. They're 3 people, 2 guys and then a woman. And one of the guys doesn't like horror movies, doesn't like being scared, but they make him watch them for the podcast. So they do a bunch of, and they just did this movie called The Taking of Deborah Logan. And apparently...
Oh my gosh.
Oh, have you seen it?
I know of that.
Yeah.
No, I will fucking never watch that film. I know what it is, and holy hell.
Widely released, but it's on Amazon Prime, and they're promoting it through that. It's been made for a few years, but Amazon is like, hey, check out this sick-ass movie. Looks terrifying. Sounds terrifying, but I think because I've heard them go through the plot, I might be able to watch it.
Is this based on a real story?
For some reason, I found myself Googling clips of that movie or YouTubing
Don't do that.
And
don't make the same mistake I do.
What is the trailer? The trailer. She's fucking swallowing a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What?
What is going on?
Yeah. John,
she's
have you ever seen Anaconda?
Yeah. My anaconda don't
Well,
want
it's kind of
none
like
of
that.
You got buns, huh?
John Voight gets swallowed by an anaconda?
With his terrible Chilean accent or whatever country accent. Stupid. Hey, Christian, you recording?
I'm recording.
Christian, you recording? Joel, you recording?
Yes, I'm recording.
Joel.
I'm recording, but you'll just have to go without my face tonight.
We got dumb side quests, generic CEO bad guy, Robozilla, no, Mecha Godzilla. All of this and more on this edition of Sequel Men, the podcast.
Coming at you, not live from Hollow Earth. 2 men talk about the films you care about. Or don't. It's the Sequel Men Podcast, and it starts right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another new episode of Sequel Men, the podcast. We are getting straight to the finish line. Coming to the end here of the legendary MonsterVerse with Godzilla vs. Kong, the big new release of 2021. By the
time this airs, it'll already be gone.
Right. By the time this airs, you can't watch it unless you go to the theater. But it is, you don't want to miss it. It's the challenge, the fight of the century, of the decade, and highly encourage it. We'll get into it later, but why don't you take it away from here, Spencer? Oh, yeah, that's his name.
Well, as Christian said, I am Spencer. Hi, how are you? I'm the other host here, Sequel Men, the podcast. Talk about film franchise and shit like that. And to my immediate right, your immediate center, depending on how many earbuds you have in, the connoisseur of voice, the Vivica A. Fox of looking ugly, the golden throat millennial, the silver-lunged pistachio eater. He's 5'2" if he's sitting on his knees, 5'10" if he's wearing those Spice Girls platform shoes from 1997. Entering the ring now. He was dead, but he's alive. He's in a relationship, and he's the voice of surgery simulator dummies, Joel the Voice. Owie.
Keeps getting better every time.
Do you need air,
Thanks.
Spencer?
Sounds like you need air. Yes, hello, it's Joel, the voice Powie, the voice of this podcast, the voice of the Laker Marching Band. And yes, I do voice dummies because I voiced them for the Kirkhoff College of Nursing here at Grand Valley State University.
All right, and Joel, that's all the time we have for your intro.
No, it's a very
Spencer
important job. It's a very important job, okay? I can be playing an 86-year-old woman. I could be a 5-year-old boy. It's fun. They get to learn how to treat patients. I help out with the medical field. I feel important. And neither one of you are going to ruin it for me. Thank you. We can proceed.
Ruin it. It's just weird that you voice people getting surgery. Like, what do you have to do? Just
it's not. It's
it
not.
Right here.
No, not very. I have yet to come across one where I'm voicing someone in surgery. It's usually post-op. Somebody who's post-op. So,
so like, hey, you wanna go? Where's the hot nurse? Hey, where's the hot nurse? Or are you the doctor?
I'm going to let Spencer have this one. I have nothing.
Hey, I have a super special, very important Spencer Sports Corner. Shagaga, shagaga. As some of you may know, I'm a huge, big-time Green Bay Packers fan. They're an NFL team, if you don't know. Joel, that's football. Football is...
thank you. Yes.
You know. Over the weekend, it was the draft. And it's usually a big time of year. Last year, they fudged it up a little bit, and this year they nailed it, I think. But in the midst of all this, we find out Aaron Rodgers, the best quarterback in the league and the quarterback for our team, a story's leaked that he wants out of Green Bay. Well, let me tell you, I don't know why. I mean, I have an idea, but let me just say this. I am not on his side with this, and I love the guy as a quarterback. He's my favorite player. But he's being a baby, and it needs to be said. And all the fans that take his side saying, well, I'm with him because the team hasn't done anything. They haven't gotten him any weapons. First of all, blow yourself. Second of all, you're not a true fan if you truly believe that, because the team... They had the best offense in the league last year, okay? They lost because of their defense that they tried to fix in this year's draft. So I don't want to hear Packers fans and NFL fans saying, well, they're not helping him. They're not putting weapons around him. They are. They have the best wide receiver in the league. They have good depth at the position. They just drafted one. They have a good defensive line, kinda. They have decent linebackers. They have... an all-pro cornerback, and they just drafted a cornerback. They re-signed, and they couldn't afford him. They re-signed Aaron Jones. They're one of the top 5 running backs in the league. They have the best left tackle in the league and the best offensive line in the league. If it's about money, he has more money than I'll ever see in my entire life, and they've offered him an extension. So I don't know what he wants them to fix, but the only thing he needs to fix is his attitude, because just because they're not drafting first-round wide receivers because there weren't any available worthy of the pick doesn't mean they're not giving him weapons. They have plenty of weapons. They've been re-signing their own players to give him weapons, and they're drafting this year to give him weapons. Just because they're not offensive weapons doesn't mean they're not weapons. You're only as good as your defense there, douche. Hey, just sign the contract. We want you back. Stop whining. Thanks. Welcome to my TED Talk.
You know whose attitude needs to be fixed?
Yeah, I was going to say, who's the baby?
Kong.
I'm a fan. I can do that.
Or Godzilla, depending on which
you want
camp
to talk
you're
about
in.
babies.
His image has been
you try
tainted
putting
for
yourself in a Lions fan shoe and see how one shoe.
Just one shoe.
Yeah, well, they don't have high expectations. I do.
Well, it's time for Aaron Rodgers to retire anyway.
Well, he's contemplating it.
It's time for us to retire from this conversation.
Go host Jeopardy! And one more little thing I want to say to the fans. All this writing off Jordan Love, he's their backup quarterback that they drafted last year. I don't agree with the pick last year and picking him, but we have never seen him take a snap in the NFL, and we're already writing him off. Okay. Yeah, you guys are real fans. Thanks. All right, so Godzilla vs. Kong was a freaking awesome movie.
Yeah. But before we get into that, we have to give a special shout-out to that special guest we had at the intro to the last episode, King of the Monsters. Good buddy of the show, good friend of mine, and good friend of Spencer's, Michael McCallum. Michael McCallum, actor, director, producer. Rebel Pictures is his studio out in Lansing, Michigan. Check it out. Go to his website. Check out his films. I worked on 1 or 2 of them, I believe. Check them out and see what you think of them. But anyway, he provided that wonderful hillbilly hotline voice for us in the last episode.
Yeah,
you just ruined the mystery.
Well, what's the mystery? Just about
we got to give him a shout out, Joel.
Just about as mysterious
Sorry,
as...
I've never had the pleasure of meeting you, Michael.
Well, you should. He's a great guy. Maybe we can get you guys to meet each other someday.
Okay.
He's funny.
But
great.
Talk about mystery.
I've acted with him.
Yeah, he has.
Clicked right away.
Yeah.
Clicked right away. He and I.
Yep.
He played my uncle and a guy that was interviewing me for a job at a carnival.
Oh, man. I love that scene still.
Nailed them both.
I love that scene.
Yeah. But Godzilla vs. Kong, what'd you guys think? Initial reaction? You guys hadn't seen it. I saw it in theaters and then just rewatched it.
I was going to say, where did you guys first see this? Well, I was in my living room watching it on HBO Max.
Well, I'll have you know, Spencer, that Christian and I, more or less, watched it together.
I didn't get the invite. I would have done that.
Well, I kind of forgot about it in the lead up.
It was a little disjointed anyway. We tried to sync up. I got like 30 seconds.
There was a problem with the Xbox app on the phone.
Fine.
It's on everybody's phone. It's just an issue with the app.
But we essentially were seeing the same things at the same time. So
yeah. We were messaging each other. Yes. I got some of the messages up.
Yes.
But that's one of the. I feel it's so weird to be able to say that. Where did you first see it? Usually you'd be like, oh, we went to the theater together. We had a great time. But no, we were in our living room watching it on demand just a couple weeks after it came out. So
yeah, and I finally figured out how to. Actually, enable my HBO Max via Amazon. For some reason, it was just such a difficult task for me. But yes, now that I've had it, Godzilla vs. Kong. I enjoyed the Snyder cut of Justice League recently.
I'm almost done with that.
So, I love it.
Loving
HBO Max is a beautiful thing. So, if you're like me and can't figure it out, If you have Amazon, get that edition and enjoy HBO Max because you got Mortal Kombat on there. You got Godzilla vs. Kong, like we're going to talk about tonight.
Not anymore.
Well, not anymore.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
And you've
Tenet's on there now.
Oh, I might have to catch that. You guys
just came on.
Tenet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Listeners, if you haven't seen Mortal Kombat, you've got until May 23rd. Yeah.
There you go.
Good job.
Yeah. Fun movie.
Very fun.
So
maybe we'll talk about it someday.
Initial thoughts, though, on this.
Yeah, initial thoughts.
First of all, again, humans, I care zero about except for one, and it's
I was going to
Gia,
say, we'll let you go first because you saw it before us, asshole.
Yeah, it's just like I also feel like it could have been, we could have had one more movie before this. Like if we'd have gotten a Kong, Hollow Earth, that could have been its own movie and it would have been awesome, having a movie set all on Hollow Earth. And then Godzilla finds out and he's like, well, let's, I don't know. But they kind of almost suffered from the Batman v Superman thing where they tried to jam two completely, could have been two movies in and just cram everything in. Except this, for some reason, works a little better for me. Godzilla was kind of put on the back burner for most of this movie. This was kind of a Kong sequel. It was kind of Kong's story.
Starts right off with Kong. I mean, we start with Kong. And
it's kind of a ping-pong.
That's another thing. I'll get in later, but I don't want to forget. That story, this was a classic tell, not show. When they were like, yeah, we're sorry about your brother. When they were talking to that doctor guy. Why? The movie could have started with the
nobody
opening
gives
scene.
a shit.
It's these explorers going down to check it out, and they don't make it. And then it's like, they could even do a 5 years later thing. And then that would have more meaning, like, hey, we're sorry about your brother. And then we find out that was his brother. Like, oh, kind of how Kong Skull Island started, and then we found out later who that was.
We are getting a little ahead of ourselves, but I agree with you on that. Like, what is the point? Why do we need to know that? It's trying to make us care about Alexander Skarsgård's character by just telling us, oh, his brother died while trying to go on an expedition to the Hollow Earth. Mm-hmm. And that's all the experience we get out of it. We don't see it happen. We don't have an emotional reaction.
Yeah, I think the entire Alexander Skarsgård character, everything just kind of went over my head, you know.
Or as I like to call him, Selvig Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, he was fine. It's just his character, like,
yeah.
I don't know.
He dresses like Selvig. He wears plaid. It's his dad. The actor's his dad.
Just as long as he's not running around naked at what is it, Stonehenge?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a few months.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I think about that character,
Selvig, you think of him running around nude in Stonehenge?
Yeah, that's the first. Yeah.
Every time I hear his name, I think,
Crazy Eyes.
he wants to show us something. It's beautiful. Or whatever he says in the Avengers. I don't know.
But
if you want...
that's what you see at Stonehenge.
Yeah, go ahead and give your quick overview.
My overview? I feel like we're giving the closing thoughts at the front here, but just to touch on it at the beginning, your face, Spencer, is kind of creepy there. But, yeah. I enjoyed it a lot. I really enjoyed it. I'll talk more about it as we get into it. But first impression, I think it might be better than King of the Monsters. It might be a superior movie.
Is. It's not even close, dude.
Yep.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
And it is kind of a ping pong ring theory sort of thing with you get Godzilla, then you get a Kong movie, then you get Godzilla again, and now what you said, it feels like a Kong sequel. So
we should have gotten one more Kong, and then the fifth movie in the...
Yeah.
Wait.
It's like what we talked about
Godzilla,
the last episode.
Kong, Godzilla. This should have been Kong, and then Kong and Godzilla. Mm-hmm. There should have been one more movie. But, whatever.
Or this one should have happened before King of the Monsters.
Sure.
Maybe. I don't know. It could be worked out. There are some plot issues in this movie.
I think,
go ahead, Joel.
I think they, the whole concern I had, and maybe we all had with King of the Monsters, is like, felt like this feels like it should be the last movie because you have with Ghidorah and all that. But as we'll get to, the big surprise with this film, and I just couldn't believe they did it. I don't know how the hell. I certainly didn't. Christian, different story for you because you ruined everything for yourself. But I didn't ruin it for myself. I didn't see it leaked anywhere online. I was like, how the hell did they keep this a secret? And I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I had a tough time.
It's funny you should say that.
Because I remember when we were recording Godzilla, the first one, Joel, you mentioned something because like Mecha Godzilla was mentioned. You're like, yeah, I'd like to see a remake of that. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be sick, dude.
Oh,
that'd be totally sick.
And meanwhile,
and then when
Spencer's
you said Batman v Superman, I'm like, oh, what? Yeah, because this is basically it.
Yeah,
they fight each other, but then realize there's a different enemy that's more powerful.
I'm not getting the parallel with that.
How are you not getting the parallel?
Why are you saying that I shouldn't be as bitter towards Batman v Superman?
No. He's just saying it's the same.
Movie is the same.
I get it, but this is definitely a better movie.
Oh, for sure.
Arguably.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
It's more fun.
Remember when Godzilla said, "Do you bleed?"
He essentially
and then
said
Kong
that.
said,
he essentially said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait till we get there. You guys know.
Actually, I think Kong said, save Mothra.
Yeah.
And then Godzilla said, why did you say... Wait, you can talk? Is the monkey talking?
Oh, that chick. Yeah.
He signed it, and then Godzilla's like, I don't know sign language.
Mm-hmm. That is so funny, Spencer.
Then he just went this. What did you say? Save Mothra.
Why'd you say that name? Yes.
Couple of jokesters over here.
Mothra's the key. Save Mothra. Godzilla, save Mothra.
Well, actually, Mothra did come about. No, I'm done with that. Not doing it.
All right, good. Well, do you want to just get into it then, Act 1?
Sure, it's a moth, but... yeah.
You want to get into Act 1?
Yeah, let's get into Act 1.
When we started Apex Cybernetics, we dreamt of new ways to push past the limits of human potential. Robotics, the human mind, artificial intelligence. Who knows what brave new future we'll dream of next?
Act 1. Somewhere on Skull Island, which, stop doing that. Just say Skull Island. The whole somewhere, I'm fine, whatever. Somewhere on Skull Island is where we start, and Kong is just going through his morning routine, butt scratching, waterfall showering, got his Cheerios, throwing tree javelins through the Hunger Games Battle Force Field Holding Center. His little hearing impaired friend made a cute doll for him. Her name's Gia. But he's outgrowing this place, and he's huge, much bigger than Kong Skull Island. That was like 1,500 years ago. Some scientists want him to be moved, but Dr. Andrews says they can't because Godzilla will find him and kill him. Kind of just on the nose stuff, like here, that's why they fight, because she has no faith in Kong, apparently. Credits roll as we get this really cool recap of each of their movies. And you realize it's a tournament bracket, and it ends with Godzilla versus Kong as the final battle. It's really cool. And then we hear from Bernie Hayes. He's a podcast host. He works at Apex Cybernetics. He digs up some secrets from Apex, and there's something fishy going on because out of nowhere, Zilla destroys the facility. Interesting way to really start the movie there, Godzilla's first appearance. Anyway, Maddie Russell, remember her? She buys in on the theory that Apex, it auto-corrected, that Apex is bad. So Apex CEO seeks out Dr. Lind to go explore the Hollow Earth, which it's finally coming. We've been hearing about the theory, it's real. They built these new vehicles that can withstand it. Kong is on a boat! He's on a boat! And Maddie meets a friend to go get Bernie. Kong is the key to Hollow Earth because they believe he will seek out the energy source that they want and they will follow him. It's kind of confusing, honestly. On the seas, the high seas, Godzilla approaches and we get round 1. Ding! Kong lands some serious haymakers, but loses the round because he's a land fighter, and this is at sea. The people shut down the ships and stuff, so it appears as though Godzilla won. He swims away because he's a dumbass, apparently. You did... whatever. That's that one. They shut their shit down. I guess I won. I just want to first say, and I'm going to open up the discussion here. The credits is really cool. That's really awesome.
Yes.
What did I say here that really made me mad?
I love how they do the credits the same way in every film, with the redacted and the files and all that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you guys think at all that, because I had the thought, I'm like, maybe, that when Godzilla attacked, that, I was like, that might be Mecha Godzilla, underneath there. Did you guys think that at all?
Well, I thought it because y'all know how I spoiled it for myself, so...
Yeah.
I knew right off the
I called the movie.
I suspected, yeah.
I knew for sure that Mecha Godzilla was showing up as soon as they showed that eye, and I'm like, oh, that's an eye.
I didn't even catch on that quick. I had
my suspicions.
I had no idea, when they showed just the red orb, whatever the hell. I was like, okay, why? Okay, they have a weapon they have a super weapon, I guess, and it was not clicking until I actually saw it. So,
well, I guess the cat's already out of the bag. We know that it's Mecha. We talked about it before this episode, or in this episode, that Mechagodzilla shows up.
yeah.
It's interesting because a little later in the movie, should we wait until then before I mention it, or
Yeah.
can I?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. We'll mention it later.
Yeah. But I know that in the bonus features or the featurettes prior to the movie coming out that you could have watched on HBO Max, they talked about how in Legendary's films, Godzilla has been shown as like a benevolent like being there for the safety of humankind and for the safety of the planet. But in this one, it kind of turns it around and goes back to classical Godzilla, and that he's kind of shown to be an antagonist. And you can see that in his eyes. His eyes are like blood red.
Because he senses the threat.
Right, he senses the threat, but
He's an alpha.
people don't know that. People don't know about the Mechagodzilla. People don't know what Apex
Correct.
is doing. They think that he's just gone berserk and is killing
He's going
human
rogue.
towns for no reason. Yeah. But he's hunting down what he thinks is an apex predator. Ha! Pun intended. Well, not intended,
like,
but I am going to make it intended.
Kind of
but-
like Cheetah
Aha!
from Wonder Woman. I want to be an apex predator. That movie was stupid.
I haven't
too.
seen it yet.
This movie, though, plot's dumb. Let's just be real. The plot of this movie,
dumb.
the human plot, dumb.
Well, why don't...
No. Let me back up.
go
Maddie's plot is dumb.
Yes.
When I initially saw it, I defended it, but it's dumb. She either didn't need to be in this.
It's weak
She's
sauce.
annoying.
It's weak sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just have
There's no
Bernie.
purpose.
I didn't understand. It felt forced to me, the fact that she's this hardcore fan of the podcast, and then she's buying into it, and then all of a sudden that turns out to be the truth, and it just seems very, I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of the conspiracy theorist introduction, or like the angle, like...
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But why did she need to go and find him and uncover... Like, and then we needed to throw one more character in because, haha, he's funny.
Oh, yeah, the kid from Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a pretty funny actor, though. Let's give him some
He
credit.
is, but we didn't need...
But
have him and Bernie do it.
Nah. It's interesting. They make what is it? And the trope is that the crazy, insane conspiracy theorist is always the smartest guy.
Yeah.
And he's insanely intelligent. He knows all this information, but yet he drinks bleach
No,
by the
bathes in it.
gallon. What?
He showers in bleach.
Oh, I thought she said he drinks.
Which that was
bleach.
another fuck. Okay, that's how they find him.
He
Let's
drinks
go to every
bleach.
store that sells bleach. Okay, so literally every store on the planet.
He didn't say that,
Like-
did he?
He bathes in bleach. That's how we find him. Bleach is the key. And you're like, what the?
I could have swore she said he drinks
fuck?
bleach.
He did. The guy said it. Josh said it. And she's like, no, he showers in it. And I'm like, guys, what are we doing here?
But, okay.
You're a kid. Stay in school.
We had to get, well, to include Maddie, we also get her dad, which, we have to include two fan favorite characters from King of the Monsters. And Kyle Chandler has all but two lines in the movie. Maddie, go home and shut up Josh. And that's about it.
Dude,
And
you
we
know
don't
what I
know why
really wish?
Godzilla's upset now. We need to figure this out, or millions of people are going to die, or whatever.
And why do they even think they need to build it? Like, why are you building this thing to keep Godzilla? He's been leaving you the hell alone.
Well, it's arrogance of man theme again.
Also, how cool would this have been? I would have forgiven any dumb thing if they were like, hey, we need somebody else or something, or just had a little cameo like, what's his name? Hank, as an old fella, just like watching the news or something, or seeing it, being in the crowd, being like, that's King Kong right there. Or something.
Marlo?
Yeah, go Kong or something.
I'm sorry to
I mean,
say, I know
he'd have been really old.
I say, Dad, I was going to say that. I know I mentioned in the Kong episode, well, he could have been really, really old, but he probably wouldn't have survived to this movie.
Nah, but
with
movie
his
magic, they
timeline.
could have made it happen.
Well, he was probably like 40 when he was discovered on Skong. I said the same thing Joel did.
Skong Island.
Kong Skull
It
Island.
would have been 80s or 90s.
Which-
they could have just made him really old. Like, hey,
Yeah,
I know
I guess
that guy.
so. Then you could have said, made a joke about the Kong beating a lizard, whatever. Like he made a joke about the cub and the
Oh,
bear.
dude. They get a crowd shot, and this would be pretty cliche, but I would still like it. All right, crowd shot. Who's the there's Godzilla. Who's the giant monkey? And then he comes in. He's like, it's not a giant monkey. That's King Kong. Like that would have been cool, right?
And he eats a hot dog with some.
Yeah, they
With his
takes a
Cubs
bite of
hat
his.
on, so you know it's
he
him.
takes a bite of his hot dog. It's King Kong.
Hey, monkey is King Kong. He's king around here.
Or he walks into
can't
frame
do the
like
voice.
Peter Jackson and bites into his hot dog and walks out.
Speaking of biting,
But-
when Bernie bit that apple, that sounded amazing. ASMR. I wanted
They
5
probably
apples
recorded
right there.
that. But yeah, the
Finally
B
found a
plot,
human character I cared about too. is
the A
Gia.
plot
She's
is
the only human
interesting.
character I care about.
Who?
Gia.
Gia.
The
Which
little girl.
okay, let's get into Gia's background a little bit. We learned
We
that
don't know it.
well, she is an Iwi.
Yeah.
She's the last surviving
really?
Iwi, I believe. Yes.
I missed
And-
that.
The Iwis are all dead because the storm overtook Skull Island. So in a sense, Monarch
Like
actually
Fortnite.
protected. Yes. Kong is the what do they call it when you win Fortnite?
No one
Crap.
cares.
I don't-
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah,
he's a
Fortnite.
victory royale. Kong is the victory
Yeah.
royale. And he has the arena all to himself. Anytime a bus flies overhead, he swats it down. And all the players die. But yeah, I liked the intro. I was joking around with my roommate. I was like, yeah, he's napping because there's no freaking helicopters flying overhead playing Paranoid to wake him up. But yeah, pretty good intro. I was totally caught off guard by the dome thing, by the Truman Show, the Kong Show. But pretty cool, though. Pretty cool. But yeah, get rid of the somewhere on
This episode
Skull
of
Island.
Kong brought to you by PBS for viewers like you. Now, if we look very carefully, we can watch Kong in his natural habitat as he scratches his ass right there, gets his finger right up in there. Now watch, I bet he's gonna lick it and smell it too, because gorillas, especially giant ones, are real big on smelling their own feces. Look, there he is itching it, and there's the lick.
And there's the
Stay
lid.
tuned because we're gonna go in to his bathing habits next.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, Joel, shut up. Just kidding.
I've barely
I'm just kidding,
spoke.
Joel.
Yeah. Run your mouth. Contribute here. Wake up, Sonny Chim.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't
Balls,
even know
dude.
who you
Come on.
are.
You will.
But
Hey, Joel.
we'll get to that. I can't wait.
Joel.
That's
Yes.
Joel.
why are you doing that? Oh,
I don't
he's
know.
doing the little
Just trying to
sexy
give him
chin thing like Poe did to Finn. Looks good on you.
Hey, Joel. Guess what? You are not on camera right now. You could record naked if you wanted.
Okay.
Just
Please
It's
don't.
so
gorilla
damn
ass
hot in
naked.
here. I already am.
Kong ass naked.
Gets kind of
You
hot
fell
in these
down here, Kong
boots.
ass nude.
Pulls off his underwear. It's soaking wet.
No, cool though. That is that plot is cool. That again should have been its own movie first. Should have been its own movie, and then brought them together somehow else. Like, oh, Godzilla hears about what the hell? There's another Titan calling himself king from a different Earth. I gotta rule that one too. And then what if they fought in Hollow Earth?
That's the
That
couple
battle
movies
scene-
away. I'm betting on it. I'm betting on it.
They're not gonna battle again. They're good
Oh, yes,
with each
they
other.
will. Yes, they will.
No, they won't.
With
No,
how
they
much
won't.
money this movie made, they're going to have a rematch of the century here, bud.
No, they're not. They're cool with each other.
No, they're
Like, all
not.
right, you stay up here. I'm going to go down there. Yes, they are. We'll get to it at the end.
Well, something
So
could
Gia-
cause Kong. Okay, we'll
No.
talk about it later. But
Gia
yeah.
knows sign language. She speaks to Kong with sign language. Find out later he knows one word, home, but he understands her. So, everything responds to home.
Well, he knows more than that. He knows more than one word.
He can understand it, but he only knows one.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Who do you think was going to win?
Who? Okay. Well, number one, me and Joel had a little correspondence about this. I mentioned he doesn't look as big. He doesn't look much bigger than he did in Kong Skull Island.
Not at first, but then you see him next to Godzilla and you're like, okay.
Right, but I think that was more of a scaling issue with the CGI than it was the actual. I mean, he doesn't. If he looks about the same size as he did in Kong Skull Island. If he was way bigger,
Yeah,
he wouldn't have
first he
even
does.
fit on that battleship.
Oh, can we talk about those battleships real quick?
How the hell?
Who the hell
Yeah.
built these?
Wakanda.
The structural integrity of everything
They're both
in this movie.
standing
that
on the
Kong
fucking
jumps
carrier.
on.
Yeah.
I know.
No. Not just that. Kong is jumping from one to another, lands on it, and it just goes a little bit.
I don't know,
Nothing
man.
breaks.
I guess you
What
got
do
to
you mean you don't
suspend
know?
your disbelief.
Oh, I did. It was still
But
fun.
yeah, my roommate he thought it was awesome. That whole scene, round one.
I got anxious. I got anxious because I was like worried. I was like, first of all, I hate the idea of drowning. And so I was just getting very anxious watching Kong just kind of sink. I'm just, get up, dude, get up. So,
Right.
yeah.
And Godzilla, I assumed he was dragging him to Hollow Earth. That's what I assumed. But
No, he's taking him to his water temple.
it was very cool. His water temple. He followed the blue light. But very cool.
What if Godzilla was? He's like, dude, hold your breath. I'm just taking you. I found this. This is awesome. Gravity's. There's no rules. Look, just hold your breath. I'll get you there real quick. I promise.
Now it's and now it's a ring theory. Godzilla's just wanting to chill with him at his home, at his temple.
It just
Check it
after
out,
the fight.
bro.
It just cuts to them. It just cuts to them in the water temple. Like, yeah, no, you're right. This is
Actually,
this is awesome.
That water
What's this we're
temple's
eating?
gone, dude.
Oh yeah, they blew it
We
up.
didn't think about that.
He made a new
Yeah.
one. He made a new
He
one.
made a new one.
They're just sitting there smoking.
Just picture Godzilla with
smoking
a hard
doobies.
hat and a hammer
Smoking
and a tool
doobies,
belt.
but the doobies are monster heads. They're just smoking monster heads. Like, yeah, you have any more of that Ghidorah? Oh, dude, you're going to love this. I just got a new shipment. Mothra dust. Sprinkle a little bit of that in there.
Imported from Cuba.
Hold it in.
No, you're not supposed to drag
What's
it.
happening?
Get that Mothra blunt.
But, guys, round one. What did we think? I like how you pointed out that it was in Godzilla's favor. I didn't even think of that. I didn't think of that before you mentioned it, that he's a land fighter.
Yeah.
Not a
Godzilla
sailor.
has all the advantage. Godzilla, Kong has a little itty bitty platform.
Godzilla has home field advantage.
He lands some punches, though.
Yeah.
I
I just was
go ahead.
anxious the entire time, just the entire thing. Because, like, they got Kong shackled up on the boat, and it's like, release him. Hello.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was probably very heavily Team Kong for the majority of this film, just because, like, I just
Yes.
wanted.
That's what they wanted you to
I just
be.
wanted more for him. You know, and I just unlike monkeys, man. I just don't know what to
That's
tell you.
what
It's like
painted
dogs
it
are
as.
1, monkeys are 2, or something like that. You know, if I'm doing top 3.
I was still Team Godzilla because he's cooler to me still. But Kong, by the end, I'm like, well, I have a feeling they're going to team up anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if this was real, well, they make you sympathetic toward Kong, so I was like, oh no, I hope he doesn't die. But in reality, if this was like a real thing and giant anyway, I think Kong would win fairly easily because of his superior intelligence being a gorilla. He has his arms are longer, so his reach is longer, and he has like hands and feet with hands.
Right.
I don't even think it would be that close.
Well, we don't know how dumb or smart Godzilla is.
I'm not saying he's dumb, but
No, I'm not saying you're
Kong
saying
knows
he's dumb.
sign language. Like,
Well,
he would be smarter.
Godzilla has instinct, so that might
Hey,
take the place of intelligence.
Imagine how fucking funny Godzilla would look trying to do sign language. Those short fucking arms?
You know what I wish would have happened? We get a tail of the tape. You know, like in a boxing match, like the tail of the tape. We got Kong. He's 700 feet tall. He's 27-0. He just beat a bunch of titans and claims himself to be king of the monsters. His history: he grew up in a little town called Japan. They later made it a country. He's been doing fights ever since he was hit with that bomb. I don't know, but if we look at the intangibles, his height, he kind of has the advantage there. He has sharper teeth, and he can shoot blue radioactive fire, but his reach, I don't know, that's going to be his disadvantage here. But, I've seen his footwork. He has the stronger legs, I think, and he has the tail, remember. He can just tail whip. Now, if we look at Kong, he's about 697 feet. Again, the height advantage, it's pretty even, but the reach goes to Kong. He's got this long reach, and he's got opposable thumbs, remember. He can grab things, and he has feet that also are kind of like hands. So if you take height, you take intelligence, Kong definitely. And look what he's been defending all these years. If you look at his upbringing, he had to fight after his family all died on Skull Island. He was there by himself, protected people. So he has the instincts also that Godzilla has, but with a longer reach. So he's in the ring. He's going to be able to keep Godzilla away from his face. And if you get that arm bar, he's going to be able to get out of it. He's got those biceps. You look at those biceps. You look at those Popeye forearms. I don't know. It's close, but I think advantage goes to Kong. I honestly think it's going to come down to the judge's decision on this one, though. But hey, we're going to see. We got the fight coming at you, presented by Comcast and WGRD here, and Pizza Hut. Coming at you after the break here. Keep it here. You're not going to want to miss the fight of the century. We got Godzilla versus King Kong. Keep it here. Thank you. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that little MMA fight or something.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Great.
That would be fun.
It would be.
But
I always find it interesting when I go off on a rant like that and Christian doesn't know what to do, so we just like stay. It's just like
I'm doing the exact same thing.
Far
You
in,
just
so I
can't
have to
see me
finish
right
it.
now.
I'm listening
I just
intently.
let you get it out of your system. That's all I do.
thanks.
That's all I can do.
Just don't get them listening off the lineup for the frickin' Tigers again.
That was really funny. But this fight is cool. It does make me anxious too, Joel, because he's like gonna drown his air supply. I mean, and you honestly,
that's
you
what
can
made
relate
him
to that,
anxious.
Joel.
What?
That's something you can relate
That's
to
what
Kong
I thought you
here.
said. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, you can relate. You've been through
We're
that,
still on
dude.
that. We're still on that.
It only when it's
It's time to let old things die.
I should have just cut a different teaser from that episode and never should have put that up as a teaser because
you should have.
No, I wouldn't change a thing. And we don't have quantum entanglement to do that, so that's too bad.
Bummer.
But anyway, interesting thing, you see that Godzilla slices through the ship just like he did to John Goodman's ship, Bill's, from Skull Island. Yeah, yep. And he's dragging the frickin' forward end of it. You see Jack and Rose on the tip of it just holding on.
Jack, don't let go. Dude, I'm letting the fuck go.
It's
dude.
I'm out of here.
Bitch, I'm letting go.
I'll take my chances in the water.
Thanks.
You stay here fine.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, what is it? What he gets caught or he grabs the anchor or what? Something.
The anchor.
Yeah,
the anchor gets stuck to his side.
Yeah.
It's like Jaws.
Yep. And that's another thing the director mentioned in some of the behind the scenes. He did mention that in this movie, Godzilla does take more of a Jaws-like angle. Mm-hmm. So they kind of thought of that and put it in the movie. What?
Really quickly, too. Like, Godzilla rushes into things. Like, there's a threat. I gotta go destroy it. There's a threat. I gotta go destroy it.
Well, that might be an indicator of how unintelligent he is and just driven by instinct.
They don't even touch gloves.
Well,
like, hey, I want a good clean fight. Nothing. I'm just, I'm after him, dude.
He's a dirty fighter. Godzilla's a dirty fighter.
He was kind of pissing. Godzilla was pissing me off in this movie, kind of.
He's a son of a bitch.
Because, like I said, I was very quickly on, probably intentional.
Don't talk about his mother like that.
On Team Kong, and then I just bro, just.
Well, I think it's interesting, Joel, how you mentioned that, and also you, Spencer. They make this the characterization of Kong so that you sympathize with him, you empathize in a way, and I feel they really do that through his connection with Gia. With the signing, the humanization of, he is an intelligent being. He isn't just a crazy monster that we see in Skull Island because he was just his life was interrupted by human beings causing destruction, whatever. And by Packard.
And to continue with that is we'll get to it, but I'll just say that I've got. When they get down there, finally make it down to Hollow Earth or whatever, then that's when that's when it gets a little more sentimental for me, and I'll go into why, but because I don't want to, we'll get to that part and then we can discuss it, because I've got a lot of thoughts on everything. It's one of my favorite parts, so.
Okay. We'll get there.
I'll let our tour guide us there, but
yeah.
But I love how we experience the film through Gia's senses whenever she's on screen.
Yeah,
very cool. Smart choice with the sound design, with hearing the heartbeat, using sound because she's deaf. She's deaf. She can only sign, so we see the world through her.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh my gosh! All right.
Very interesting. Good choice by the director there. Good choice by the designers. Very cool. And that's how we see Godzilla's approach. We hear him. She hears the bass, the low end of his acoustics, I guess. His alpha acoustics, whatever. Very cool. Same thing with Kong. She hears his heartbeat. Just humanizing in that sense with the signing, with hearing very cool.
I want to, that's what they did with Gia. That's how you get an audience to care about the human characters. You make them important to the monster.
Yes.
And it did. Also,
just like Bumblebee.
Let's back up for a sec. Yeah. Let's back up for a sec, too. The Dr. Andrews, the woman that essentially is Gia's mother figure, her conversation with that other scientist guy where he's like, hey, we got to move him, he's outgrowing this, he's going to destroy stuff. This is, I feel like they shoehorned the battle in right here because they're like, we got to have them fight, we have to make that make sense. We can't just randomly have them fight. So then they explain, well, if we move him, Godzilla's going to find him, and then he's going to want to kill him because he's an alpha, and you can't have two alphas.
Right. That's the reason.
And that's why we have the fight.
Yeah. I think that makes perfect sense.
It could have been presented better.
Well, it could have been presented better. I mean, think. Alexander Skarsgård shows up at Skull Island the next scene over, trying to recruit Dr. Andrews, or is that her name?
Well, trying to recruit Kong.
Yeah, trying to recruit Kong because he was recruited by Apex to get this unlimited energy source from Hollow Earth because they have the technology. We had the technology. But, I thought it made sense. And they're all asking each other, well, Godzilla, why is he here? He didn't show up in the charted areas that you pointed out. How did he get here? How did he know? I think he can just sense. It's the predatory instinct of, there's another alpha. I can't have any of that.
Yeah, I can't.
So that's why he wants to take Kong out. He's a threat to his dominance. There you go.
He's already self-proclaimed king of the monsters. Long live the king.
Yeah, so we're trying to. Kong's trying to launch a coup here, and Godzilla ain't gonna let it happen. Well, Kong doesn't even want anything to do with it.
No, he's like, I don't want to fight, dude. I just want to get to where.
I don't want to kill you.
Why am I on these chains? Why am I in these chains? Hey, yo, I want to go home. Want to go home.
Yeah.
And then Gia's like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I can't. Don't put that clip in for the teaser.
Shrug. That's a universal thing.
Yeah, she just. I'll go talk to him. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say no. Not yes. They're going to say no.
No, I really like how they
That's
incorporated the signing in. That's really cool.
No, yeah, that was cool.
Yes.
That was awesome. That created depth for Kong.
Yes.
Like, oh, this thing has a
humanization,
he's not just this killer,
sympathy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got
Godzilla's
feeling.
Like, yo, I gotta FS up, and Kong's like, this little girl's nice to me. She makes me dolls. I can't play with them; they're too small. But cool gesture. I appreciate it. What if the first time she made it, he's just like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this?
I can't play with him. It's too small. He picks it up in his index and forefinger, crushes. Oh.
I have to get tweezers. Kong, that's rude. Sorry, I love it.
Could you tell Kong? Is that who you could tell? That's Dr. Andrews.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he said he wanted to go home. But that's all he knows, right? Honestly, that's all he's ever done.
You know what's interesting is kind of a interesting thing, and I noted is that.
How interesting.
She recently. She can, her and Kong understand each other without saying a single word. But her interaction with Andrews, it's all like we understand it. Like, because Andrew, I'm kind of trying to figure my way around this like you were trying to do the last episode, Joel.
Okay.
It's interesting that they're on the same page. They don't need to utter a single word. But Andrews, the way she mouths things and signs, like for the audience and for Gia. Mm-hmm. But I just thought it was interesting that her and Gia have a hard time getting on the same page emotionally and regarding Kong and Godzilla and whatever this conflict. But her and Kong understand each other perfectly without saying anything. I just thought that relationship was kind of cool.
Yeah, he's like a papa to her. Papa Kong.
My daughter. Okay,
yeah.
That was
any other act one? Oh, real quick. So the plot, they want to go to Hollow Earth because there's an energy source there that the Apex wants, and they think Kong can sense it and take them there if they lie to him that his family is down there.
Okay, this all falls apart, Spencer, now that you mention that. I feel like this is Act 2 material, because Act 1 ends right at the fight, right?
Okay, well, we can do Act 2. Yeah. We can do Act 2,
but
and then you
one
can hold
last
that
thing.
thought.
You're right. Kong, Godzilla is kind of a dumbass, because he can't sense Kong's bioacoustics, or is he just like, stay out of my territory, Walter White style? Like,
I think it's that.
Like,
he's just a predator.
Like, shut everything down, make him think he's won.
Lizard brains are much smaller than gorilla.
I think
brains.
the whole thing isn't the whole idea about that. Like, okay, shut it all down. So he thinks that we're
shut them all down.
You know.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, Godzilla's not that dumb. He'd go over there and be like, yeah, guys, I didn't even touch those ships, so I know nobody's dead on that. Kong is not dead because he's looking at me.
But the whole thing is just to submit.
I'm going to just come and
like, he's not out to
dominance.
It's not necessarily to destroy, but he wants
show who's boss.
He wants Kong to submit, or he wants them to submit and stop their.
Godzilla's like, I'm the boss.
He doesn't really understand what they're doing with Kong. I don't think he really gives a fuck about what they're doing or where they're going with Kong. But he just like.
You bring him here again, I'll kill him.
He's pretty big. Got to make sure that I'm still the alpha. And, you know. That's about it.
Hey, he's big.
But that's still dumb. Like I want him to swim up there. I want Godzilla to swim up there and like tap on the. Hey, guys, you just shut it off. We're
Would that
not
fit
done
with a
yet.
tone? Yeah.
I'm not gonna win by default. I'm going for the knockout.
They're his fish.
Smash.
They're his
smash.
fish.
Kong's dead.
Yeah.
Like, good try, but now you're dead. I'm gone. I'm gonna leave. Honestly, Gia, she's cute. I'm gonna leave her alive. She's gonna survive. I'm gonna take her to shore. Yeah, I don't kill kids. I'll learn sign language with her. I'll be your new friend. I don't kill kids. It's a rule of mine.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much what I got. I also when she was Dr. Andrews was all surprised about the signing. Like, oh, he can sign. He understands. And I was like, that's like a thing with gorillas in real life, is that you can sign with them. They know sign language.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
That should have been the first thing to go-to when trying to communicate with Kong. And she elaborates on it a little bit later, which I was about to say that she should have thought about signing first thing when trying to establish contact. And she's like, well, I knew that he had some comprehension, but I didn't understand like he knew this much, like that sort of thing. But I'm glad they clarified, because I was going to be like, that's kind of a scientific gaffe, blind spot.
You know what would have been a funny thing? Because where's Kong supposed to go to the bathroom on these ships? What if he's just sitting there, like moving in his chains, and then he just goes, that means shit. So he's just like, and like,
Blasts
what does that mean?
all
like,
over the ship.
Oh no!
All over the deck.
Dr. Andrews just like, that means that's sign language for shit. I think he's about to poo.
And then it turns into a dramatic moment. Andrews turns, get him off the deck. Get him off the deck! I guess you could say he was on
he's gonna blow.
the poop deck.
How much fish has he eaten? And then Godzilla's like, oh, nope. We'll get you later. I'll wait.
Bro, you're nasty. Oh, and they just, yeah.
That's why he drags him in the water. He's trying to clean him up.
Godzilla uses it because, monkeys throw poop. He's just like, we're not done. And just starts slinging giant heaps of shit.
He's like, we're not done yet.
Giant poop grenades.
Radioactive poops.
All right.
What are we doing, guys? Let's go to Act 2.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing.
We end on...
Why didn't they put her in a helicopter or something? Take her somewhere else safe.
Yeah, get the kid out of here. Yeah.
That's what I have to say about that.
Yeah,
we going to Act 2?
I agree. Yep.
Godzilla.
No, that's Mecha Godzilla. How's Kong with heights? Because he gets airlifted to Antarctica, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Correct me later. To get in, that's where the Hollow Earth entry point is. They bribe him with family, so he goes. Meanwhile, Maddie and the gang snoop and get shot to Hong Kong through these 600-mile-an-hour crafts that go to Hollow Earth,
Hyperloop,
where they discover Apex's secret plan as they watch Mecha Godzilla be born, and he malfunctions after he kills a skullcrawler. Kong gets to Hollow Earth with weird up and down gravity. It's really cool. And he finds that energy source and a sweet Godzilla spike axe, and he takes his throne, and he is King Kong. The humans from Apex want a sample of the energy, so they take one, but Godzilla blows a hole to Hollow Earth. Apparently, he can do that, and that's the way out. That's why he did it, because they needed a way out. So like, yeah, he blows a hole all the way here. Kong kills Apex's daughter and rises to Earth to fight. Maddie and company find the control center for Mecha, and it's Ghidorah's auctioned off head. That's what's controlling him. All these wires and stuff, and this Surazawa relative, that's his name, is Surazawa. He would have liked a little bit more background on him. He works from the head of Ghidorah, and they use his DNA or whatever to power Mecha Godzilla, so he's super powerful. And that's why, guys, remember when I was like, hey, that head comes back. Like, this is important to the story that they auction off this head. Now you know why.
Okay, are you done?
That's all. That's what I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the silence then. But
Yeah.
Where do we start from here? Okay.
I'm going to start at the end real quick because I find it odd. I mean, it's fan servicey because I get really hyped when Mecha Godzilla showed up, and I'm just like, dude, here we go. They went there. Let's go. But then Josh, for no reason, like, he has no reason to correct Bernie and be like, no, actually, that's Mecha Godzilla. It's like, why? Why do you get to name him that? Robo Godzilla would have been fine. Like, no, it's Mecha. Like, is Mecha Godzilla a thing in this universe?
Well,
like,
yeah,
actually, no, dumbass. That's Mecha Godzilla. Haven't you heard?
Mecha Godzilla is a thing in the franchise, so they have to have it be called that. But somebody has to say it.
Why couldn't Bernie just say, it's a Mecha Godzilla? But we have to get, oh, you called him the wrong name. No, it's Mecha Godzilla.
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 I can't really do his accent.
Yeah, no. I did get a laugh out of his line though. This guy, I can't do Australian.
New
He's not Australian. I think he's New Zealand.
New Zealand. This guy,
New
he
Zealand.
carries his dead wife's flask in a gun holster like a gun. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a laugh out of that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Hollow Earth. Let's talk
second
about
time I
Hollow
saw
Earth
that, yeah.
for a few.
Yes.
That's the main point of this.
Awesome.
I mean, Mecha Godzilla. Hold on. Let's just. Okay. Apex makes Mecha Godzilla to replace Godzilla. I don't know why they think they need to do this, but it's that I need to be in control. Whatever. We got.
They don't want to be under the Titan's thumb.
Yeah, the humans want to be the alpha, and this is in their head, their stupid heads. This is the way to be the alpha again.
Yeah, they're using human intelligence and innovation to prove themselves superior to these Titans.
Yeah. So we're a good hour and something into this movie, and there's only like a half hour left when they get to Hollow Earth, and it took a weird turn for me when they got, because it's like nothing we've seen in these movies before. It's very like sci-fi, like just weird, and I'm like, okay, how are they going to get them to fight? What are we doing?
Right.
And it's like the writers forgot too, and they're like, oh shoot.
Oh, that's right. This isn't Avatar.
Okay.
Crap. Oh.
Godzilla senses him underneath Hong Kong where Mecha Godzilla is, so he just decides to breathe fire in the earth.
I thought
and then there's a hole, and that's how they get out.
That was not great for me. I just thought, like, oh, how convenient. Like, how convenient, like, that he's lined up at that exact position in the core of the fucking earth or whatever. And
Plot convenience.
Yeah, I didn't like that part. But
let's talk. Okay,
Yeah,
let's talk about the Hollow. Or do we want to talk about? Oh man, we are all turned around here. Let me just get the thing about Mechagodzilla. Well, I'll talk about that later. Actually, I don't know what I'm doing.
Let's talk about talking about talk.
Yes.
All right, so Hollow Earth is this really cool place.
Yes.
Like they built
Let's
this.
start
Earth
off
where
in Antarctica.
It's up and down.
Mm-hmm.
There's gravity going up and down.
Basically,
and there's like this
it's
middle ground with these rocks.
It's the tunnel in Willy Wonka that they go through. That's what it is. The crazy topsy-turvy.
Yeah.
But, oh, awesome sequence, though. awesome sequence as they go through the wormhole thing and with the lights flashing and the interdimensional travel thing.
Right. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, that lizard that ate those little crab things.
Yeah.
Looked suspiciously close to what Godzilla looks like.
Well, maybe
I think
it
they're
was
related.
a Protozilla.
I'm pretty sure he's a descendant. I just thought that was a cool... I wonder if that's a named monster, like in the lore. And it was just like, that's fine. That's Doug.
It could be an
Dougzilla.
Easter egg. I didn't look at any Easter egg lists.
He's not God level yet. That's Dougzilla. He's the janitor.
He's
around here. He eats the
Demigodzilla.
crabs.
It was cool to see more monsters, though. And how about those, fucking... Oh,
The demon bats.
Yes, that
you
suffocate
want to know what
him.
you want to know what I call?
Joel really...
I called them flying ball sacks, flying testicles.
Okay.
Because they looked very scrotum.
Oh, that's what you
scrotum-esque
meant
to
by
me.
that.
They looked like a flying
Are
scrotum.
those different?
But
I was
the
wondering
chickens?
why you said that in the chat.
I was like, they could have maybe, I don't know, added some feathers or something. Yikes.
Flying fucking testicles. That's what Joel said to me.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. Yeah, that's a cool little fight when these giant testicles attack him. And it's like, oh, he's getting suffocated. He's using the wing. And then he just is like, you know what? My grandpa was Donkey Kong and he taught me this. And he just down B. He spams the down B button from Super Smash Brothers and just... That's what that is. That's down B.
Yep, that's his
Nintendo
down
64.
special. Yep.
And then he does the chest... Oh, it's so cool.
Except
Gross,
he's
though, when he
missing the
drinks
red
the green-
tie, but whatever.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very King Kong or Donkey Kong.
But
yeah.
When you said something about how the plot doesn't make a lot of sense, about how they need Kong to lead them to Hollow Earth.
Mm-hmm.
How do they know he's going to?
I know. He's never been there.
Right.
He's never been to Hollow Earth, and clearly we know that because she's like, oh, maybe your family's down there, which I'm like, oh, that's real nice. They're going to take advantage of that. Mm-hmm. You're going to take advantage of his dead parents on Skull Island to say, oh, well, maybe you have a cousin. Go check it out. You don't know. Like,
it's in the book, the Hollow Earth book.
Yo, it's
stuff
in the
down
book. I had to do it.
I read the Hollow Earth theory. It's a good theory. It's a good theory. Little confusing when they go into the interdimensional Space Jam WB stuff. But yeah, they took a lot of inspiration from there. Actually, Hollow Earth is a real theory. I'm gonna check it out myself. I got a Hollow Earth in my butt. But no, Hollow Earth, it's a good book. Good book. It's a cool concept, though.
What, Hollow Earth in your butt?
No, the Hollow Earth theory in general. Like, what if that's real?
I have a Hollow Earth in my butt.
Yeah, you might. Ecosystem living up in there.
I used that.
Magic
I
school
used
bus
that
on
moment
it.
to conveniently tumble out of my booth here because my ass is hurting. So way to go.
Hollow Earth.
Man,
Hollow
it's
Earth.
the
Rash.
Hollow Earth. Hollow Earth. Kong's trying
Send
to get
in the
out.
magic school bus. Today's episode, Inside Joel.
Oh, man.
Oh
Okay,
no,
I can't.
not again. Miss Frizzle, we're not going in there, are we?
He had
Oh yes, class.
Mexican for lunch.
Oh no, I knew this wasn't going to be an Arnold field trip. Hey, nice little twist though. Miss Frizzle is in Hollow Earth. She's doing some research. She's like, this is great.
Oh, boy.
I started watching that with Miles, with
Yep.
my son, and he loves it. I was watching all my favorite episodes. Dude, there's one that's like kind of creepy where they go into the sound museum and it's like haunted with sound. It is
we used to watch that.
Hello.
What?
Where the kid's trying to find the sound to his instrument that he makes. That's probably my favorite episode, where they can see sound.
I don't remember that.
I remember it vividly.
Yeah. Very Jimi Hendrix of them, to be able to see sound. Anyway, back to Hollow Earth.
Back to Hollow. Hold on a second, guys.
Him.
Going back to what you said.
Sorry, my ass.
Okay, his ass is hurting.
My ass is a rental place.
I'm doing a Joel when I say something about poop, and he's like, pooping. Just out of nowhere.
Yep, that was on last episode.
But no, why do they need Kong to lead him? He's never been there. They can find the wormhole. They can find the wormhole when they get through the tunnel. I mean, they already have the tunnel there, right? To get to like the pre-Hollow Earth. Can't they just scout the location and find the wormhole?
No. Otherwise, why do we move Kong?
All right, so here are my...
I know, but...
all right,
that's partly why it doesn't make sense.
I should share my thoughts about the whole Kong and the Hollow Earth, and then...
Yeah, you should.
First of all, does it entirely make sense why they're going? Maybe not, but it's probably one of my favorite moments of the film is when Kong gets down there, and all of a sudden he's in this temple that dwarfs him, and so I just thought that was so cool. That's just a great visual for one to start it off, but this entire thing about him, and he finds that axe, like in some sort of ancient weapon. Then you're thinking, were these warriors? I mean, was Kong's, people, family, whatever, was his race a warrior race of some sort?
Don't.
I know.
Don't.
That's why I paused.
Don't.
I'm not doing
Don't,
it.
Christian.
Do not bring pre-Vizsla into this. But so that's what got me thinking is like, damn, that's the prequel I would want to see. Like prequel about, because to me, that entire thing about them being in the temple and him sitting down on the throne and, the realization of what this was. And it's like, okay, so what was it? I mean, this seems to me that they were a warrior culture, So what? So now we're dealing with factions. So so like all this was racing through my head. It's like this would be the prequel I'd want to see.
Goldmine.
If they make another one, I want to see the prequel, and I want to see what the hell went down. That's what I want to see.
Well, it also raises questions that could modern...
I want a movie about Hollow Earth and Kong, but I want it to be focused. Like, this is why we needed a Hollow Earth movie first, to fully explain. Maybe it was a prequel, or maybe it's just like we get a flashback, or like an in the beginning thing. At the first, 10 minutes of the movie take place in the before time, and then it's like, we have to find the next king, something. It's set up
the land
like that.
before time.
No.
Yeah, and this would set up the ancient rivalry, because clearly, their Godzilla, or a form of Godzilla, was down there, because that axe was made from a Godzilla spike.
Yeah.
And it has that blue Godzilla energy. Like, how did that get there?
I didn't get that until it started glowing.
Was there other Godzillas?
Right.
Were there other
awesome.
Godzillas?
So is it a faction thing? Holy hell. Like, are we dealing with an entire race of these creatures, There's
so many paths they can take with this now. With the prequel, with going back eons ago to going to the Hollow Earth culture, like the people who lived down there that we saw in King of the Monsters in those aquatic ruins, kind of like Atlantis, but
right.
So many opportunities they got going on, and it also kind of it raises the question: are human-sized, like the gorillas that we know, are they descended from the Kong race that came from Hollow Earth? Right. Which leads to the evolution theory and how humans came about. Are we descended in the MonsterVerse from Kong?
Right.
And it's it creates an ironic situation where Godzilla, if there's a faction, if there was like a race of Godzillas and a race of Kongs, and they are like Jedi and Sith, eternal warfare, it's funny that Godzilla is protecting the descendants of Kong in that sense, if that were to be, like, if they made it that way moving forward. But it's so interesting, the whole Hollow Earth potential they have. So cool.
Right.
I want to see it. This place is interesting.
I loved the scale axe. Thought that was so cool.
So sweet. And it comes back and he uses it. It's weird. Kong just knows what to do. Like, all right, this is mine now, and that looks like a seat. I'm pretty tired. I'm just going to sit right here, and I am king. Thanks. Thanks
well, King Kong, there you go.
Yeah.
Godzilla, you can have the upper world. I'll take Hollow Earth.
Yeah, I'll take down here. You take up there. We call truce. Great.
I thought...
Then
Joel,
Rodan's like, what about me? And he's like, you can have the sky. We don't care.
I like how we go, like you were talking about, Joel. He almost seems himself in awe.
Yeah.
Kong does as he walks into that chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And you it doesn't feel like he's a unintelligent gorilla at that point. He's like aware and he's like taking it all in, and you can almost see the thoughts going through his head or something. Like it humanizes him in a sense.
Right, yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Kong's journey, hero's journey, if you will. Whatever.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I forgot to mention in Act 1, because this comes back in the next act, Gia and Dr. Andrews both sign the word coward when referring to Dr. Lind, and they're like, it means brave. So just remember that, I guess. But yeah, Gia's down. Like, why do you take Gia down to the Hollow Earth? Right. Why? To communicate?
Dude,
don't put her in that danger. Don't.
Remember? Well, I don't know. You raise it. It's an interesting point. That isn't. Well, because she's the only one that can communicate with Kong. That's why.
I guess. Doesn't he like Andrews?
That's why. Even though she's a child. And Andrews mentions that. Like, well, she can... Because Lind is like talking to Andrews and saying, well, we need her to communicate with Kong or whatever. Can she convince him? Can she make him go? And she's like, well, she's a child. Then it shows her thinking about it, and then it cuts to the next scene. But,
you know who we haven't mentioned?
Who?
I don't know her name, but the daughter of the Apex CEO.
Oh, the snotty girl who says, oh, the monkey can talk? Did he just did the monkey just speak?
She got a job because of her dad.
She's just there.
Yeah. Let's be honest though, she's kind of a babe.
Yes. I will say that. Yeah, she's an attractive woman. I mean, that's just the truth.
And that was probably intentional.
Yeah, they're the most vicious.
It doesn't make me feel sorrow over her inevitable demise, right. But
yeah, when Kong smashes their thing, I'm like, good for him.
Yeah, honestly, he's just like, who? Crush.
Stop! You're gonna get electrocuted. Stop.
Dude, there must be some connection between Kong and Godzilla, because around the throne was that carving where he placed the scale axe. Mm-hmm. So,
what happens? Why does he do that? Forward. Okay, so he sees where it goes. Does it do something? I can't remember. I
don't remember.
It powers
either.
up the energy.
Right.
Why does
it powers up the axe. It powers up the axe. That's what it did.
Okay. So,
because that symbol was connected to Godzilla.
It's like a cordless charging station for an iPhone.
Wireless charging pad.
Also, they put that in the prequel.
Yeah.
Let's get that prequel.
Q compatible.
Where they first fight. The ancient rivalry, the first time they fight, and it shows Kong win, and then he gets the scale. Like, he chops off the scale and is like, yeah, this is a weapon now.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this against you. Biz niche.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
But we don't get that.
Cool idea for a prequel.
Like, what if Surazawa in the other movie just narrated that long ago, and then we get a voiceover over the action, and then it's like, oh, so essentially Kong is or Godzilla's just pissed off. And he's like, yeah, he's just pissed off.
That is Serizawa's son, by the way.
It's his son?
Yes.
Why was he never freaking mentioned?
Yeah,
well, I want to...
That was
we'll talk
shoehorned.
We'll probably talk more about him in Act 3, but I just wanted to point out, you said you didn't know how his relation was. It is Serizawa's son. It is his
They
son.
handled it
Okay.
poorly, though.
Yes,
pretty
yes,
poorly.
they did.
Oh, absolutely.
And now
We'll
that
talk-
so we circled
The director talked about that.
now that we
in
circled
the AMA.
back to Serizawa Jr. I did
Junior.
want to say something about so this whole idea that he sits inside the Ghidorah head and pilots felt derivative of like Pacific Rim, the whole neural bridge thing.
They're in the same universe, bro.
They're borrowing from kaiju filmmaking, I guess.
They're not in the same universe.
No,
they're-
no.
There's a theory that they are.
Well, okay, then you better make it so, as Picard would say.
You better connect the dots.
But it felt, I was like, okay, what is this, Pacific Rim, or is this a Godzilla film? I don't know. And the third weird thing about it for me personally right now is I'm watching that Netflix series Pacific Rim: The Black, and
Never heard of it.
and spoiler alert, if you're wanting to see it or whatever, they
Just
introduced something in that series called a biomech. So even further kind of, I don't know, it all felt derivative of Pacific Rim to me.
Oh.
So it was a little weird for
I've
me,
never seen
but
Pacific Rim.
I don't know. I don't know how else they're going to have...
It made
sense. It's like, well, how else are you going to have the human pilot it remotely?
Right.
I don't know. So,
Using the Ghidorah
Seems
skull.
like since we're talking about him, this would be a good opportunity to fit in my character spotlight.
okay.
Ren is his first name. Ren Serizawa. He doesn't deserve this honor, but whatever, we're doing it. We're doing it because the film threw him in there and defaced the Serizawa name. We're assuming this asshole is related to the cool Serizawa, which just confirmed it's his dad. And he's trying to uphold the family name, but he sucks. He wanted to be like his father, and so he got into monsters too. He actually started out as a digital DNA revamper and a Fortnite professional before dedicating his whole life to virtual reality games. Listen, Dad, video games do pay off. He got bored, tried to take his shit to the next level, so he bought Ghidorah's head and started hooking shit up to it, like one of those when you build your own computer. As a kid, he always tinkered with robotics and building stupid kid stuff, and one day decided to build a Mecha Godzilla, little mini one to honor the monster, but he was kidnapped by CEO and Stockholm Syndrome into making an evil Godzilla robot. Anyway, he fails and flies too close to the sun, just like our boy Icarus, and you know what happens next. He dies by virtual reality video game. Kids, read a book every now and then. This is a great message about the dangers of technology addiction. Thank you.
Great.
Serizawa, his story.
Thank you. Ren Serizawa.
Ren
We should have gotten him
Serizawa.
as like a younger kid in the other movies. And he's like, Dad, one day I'm going to be like you. And he's like, don't be like me, son. And he's like, fine, I won't be like you. I'll just be evil. Do you want me to do that? You don't
I want to
me?
be like
No.
you. Zop-a-dibba-dibba.
No, you don't.
Then
Then let them fight.
Yep.
He's like, but what if I joined the fight? And they're like, well, we tried that in King of the Monsters. He's like, no. What if I joined it like this? I was one of them. I don't know. The story of how
I
it
don't
works is really
know.
great, though. We done with
There is
Part
a sort of deep cut, if you will, Joel.
Okay.
Kong.
Okay.
Kong being airlifted.
Go ahead.
Kong being airlifted to
yeah.
Antarctica was I did watch a clip from Kong versus Godzilla, the original from I think the 60s.
Oh, really?
And it was the clip of they were carrying Kong by air.
Wow.
They were airlifting him to intercept Godzilla by like the mountainside or something. And they dropped him in the battle, basically.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's kind of a nice callback to that. But yeah,
all
it is what it
all
is.
those old films are on HBO. Or a lot of them are. Anyway, are on HBO Max. I'm like kind of curious now.
Well, it's funny you say that. Me and my roommate started watching Godzilla King of the Monsters, the Americanized version of the original Japanese film. And it's like, if we wanted to watch, this whole movie is just this guy monologuing. Basically.
Really?
Yeah.
This American.
Okay.
It's all just dialogue, wall of dialogue from this guy.
Americans are ruining everything.
But now after this, I kind of want to go back and revisit the OG Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
It's going to be terrible.
It also
whatever.
It made me think of Ready Player One too.
Yeah.
There
is a
callback. There is a callback to the old Kong versus Godzilla. You know the GIF where it's in the movie too, but there's a GIF of it where Kong is shoving a tree into Godzilla's mouth as they're fighting. He does that with something. Does he do that with the end of the axe? I'm pretty sure there's a shot of it. I'm pretty sure that's a little callback.
I think
really
you're right.
Cute. Yeah, I don't know why they would do that and have it not be a direct callback, except just better, not as like cheesy.
Was
like,
it
hey,
framed the same way?
Pretty sure.
Okay, I'd never seen the original. He's yelling at his cat.
His cat.
It's cat.
Stop it. She's clawing at a metal file cabinet.
That's all right.
Anyway, do we want to go to Act 3? And we can just talk about the fight?
I don't think Joel's here.
Yes,
Joel.
I am.
He was
sorry.
He had to stretch his ass.
Too much Kong. We got Kong miss.
Nope, not going there.
Too much.
Not going there.
Hollow
Shut
ass.
up.
Don't go there.
What?
Nope.
All right, so Act 3. Want to go to Act 3?
I just want to say I love Mechagodzilla's roar.
He's cool.
Absolutely awesome roar.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep, that's it. All right.
All right.
Show's over.
Okay, good.
That's it for us today. No, we're
So, Act 3?
Yes.
My maker. It's not only Godzilla's equal, but his superior.
When Godzilla was first revealed to the world,
I had a dream. And in that dream, I saw one thing. And that... Oh, shit.
Act 3. The fight is on. Let them fight. Round final. Here we go. The main event. In the blue corner, standing at a bunch of hundreds of feet tall, he's a lizard from underneath the sea, Godzilla! And in the red corner, coming out of reclusion from Skull Island, it's where he was born, standing at a bunch of hundreds of feet, he's a gorilla, he goes by Kong! On a good clean fight, we go to round 2, and again, whoever is building any structure in this film is a god, because the integrity of these buildings is like nothing else on Earth. I mean, they're just jumping from them and nothing, like, it's just hanging out. They don't collapse, nothing. Kong wins round 2, but Godzilla comes back in round 3 and reclaims dominance and almost kills Kong. Meanwhile, Mechagodzilla starts to think for itself and kills Apex CEO and Ren Surazawa. Mech dominates Godzilla. He's no match. And then Kong gets brought back with a gravity vehicle shockwave, and he jumps on Mech to save the day after a pep talk from Gia. They tag team Mecha Godzilla, and it's cheapened because Josh from Maddie's group dumps whiskey on the control panel and then weakens Mecha Godzilla. Come on, just let them fight without. The humans don't need to be the hero. Anyway, Godzilla does this awesome move where he powers up King Kong's axe, and then Kong gets the last laugh. He slices Mecha Godzilla up, and he roars with victory while holding Mecha's head. Big on lots of severed head fetishes in the MonsterVerse. And he pounds his chest. It's very awesome. Godzilla and Kong have a game-recognized game moment and just nod to each other, fist bump, and they leave. They go their separate ways. While Kong proclaims that Kong proclaims that Godzilla couldn't live with his failure, and that brought him right back to him, straight out of the book of Thanos. Kong rules Hollow Earth, Godzilla rules regular Earth, but is out of shape, so he leaves for another nap, as he often does. Guys, this fight scene is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Epic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Don't need the human stuff.
And again, I'd like to just emphasize that I got completely blindsided in a good way, by the entire Mechagodzilla thing. Like, I just was geeking out. I don't know what it was. Like I said, like I've seen it a couple times, maybe the old Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, or maybe just bits and parts. I remember it from my childhood to some degree, but something just kicked me right in the nostalgia, and I just felt overly nostalgic and like, yes, fist pump everything for Mechagodzilla, even though he's a jackass. I liked the whole thing about how it became self-aware.
Yeah.
Because then it's like true Mechagodzilla. Because I don't remember the backstory of the original one, but that seemed a little more genuine to me than having somebody more or less in the cockpit.
It makes it more interesting.
And it's like, this is what happens when you humans try to fuck with things you don't understand, or, you know, you try your sick little experiments. Well, you get killed. So money can't buy everything. Sometimes
bitches get stitches.
Sometimes money only buys ignorance. So, and I think that's what we had to learn from that CEO's death.
I didn't mean like bitches get stitches mentality here on the show.
What?
I didn't. No, I didn't mean bitches.
I know.
And I meant like y'all, you a bitch because you told on it. It's a play on snitches get.
Right.
So yeah, Mechagodzilla, real cool, looks cool, dominates Godzilla.
Yeah.
Dominates him, and it's such a move. Well, here, let's talk about Godzilla versus Kong first. These buildings, like I said. What the hell? Dude. They're just jumping around. All the lights and the stuff and like the light debris on Godzilla's face.
Synthwave aesthetic, very cool.
The
lighting.
This fight is awesome.
And it was, the cinematography was comprehensive. You could understand what was going on.
And we got to actually see the fight.
You got some GoPro shot type deals going on, which was kind of cool. I thought that was pretty cool. But very cool, like how, I guess, me and my roommate were talking about it. Everything has to go through Toho. Like, everything has to go through Toho in terms of how they present Godzilla, how his personality is, how he moves. And I guess that had never been done before, really, having him kind of crawl on all fours, sort of a thing, like a Komodo dragon. That was cool. And just seeing Godzilla move faster instead of just stomping around like really slowly.
Yeah.
Having him be like almost agile, like his adrenaline's up, he's pissed off, Kong's back, he's like, didn't I teach you a lesson? Like, it's time for round 2. Very cool. I thought it was shot better than King of the Monsters.
It was.
The action scenes were shot better. We actually got to
see it.
Yes. It wasn't that documentary style.
Yeah, I think it made the film, like this entire. I think. I know what it is they took their time with it, even with Mecha. Like, they made that fight the right length. It wasn't some just, okay, we've it could have been longer, sure, but it wasn't a thing where it's like, okay, well, at least he's in the film, we can kill him after 30 seconds. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Like, everything felt like it was, I don't know, choreographed or coordinated with purpose as far as the fighting between the monsters.
It was Venom, except better.
Yep.
It was Batman v Superman, except better.
It was Spider-Man 3, except better. What is it with copying that trend of enemies become allies and fight a bigger being?
Because it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like when
threat.
Godzilla comes back to life and immediately, not like one of those where he's like, ugh, he immediately sits up and he's like,
Rubs
let's
his
go.
nipples.
Puts his shoulder back in place, and all of a sudden you think Mecha Godzilla's about to kill Godzilla, but then Kong's like, nah. And he's on his back and he's just like, nah. And then he's got the axe, and Godzilla, the most hype moment in this whole MonsterVerse, when he's holding the axe and Godzilla's like, all right, I'm going to assist the shit out of him right now. Powers up the axe with his radioactive fire breath. And then it's over. Just slice, head, oil everywhere. Kong's like, I'm more in shape than you are. I work out. Lay down, I got this. It's so cool.
It is a cool little ring theory inversion, too, that Mecha tries to do the kiss of death on Godzilla himself.
Yeah.
Oh,
like what he did to the Muto.
Yeah. Yep. You're right.
And then Kong jumps in and saves the day.
Kong says, not in this juncture. Although...
Quick, Josh, pour the whiskey on the board. Help us.
That was so frustrating.
Now I can see that.
Can't we just have him...
Well,
Can't we just have him beat him at full strength?
Right.
Why do the humans have to help?
Well, it was so questionable.
It cheapens the victory.
Because what is the relationship? How is he impacting... Because from what I understand, Mechagodzilla was self-aware because of Ghidorah, so it's essentially Ghidorah getting his revenge, if you think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Taking over this second form. People talked about that in the comments on one of the videos, but it's what I thought he was being controlled by a satellite, not from this control board. How does pouring whiskey on the control panel interact with the satellite?
Now that we're talking about it, like, it's making me frustrated.
Yeah, it does. It was just a way to kind of make that B plot fit into the main plot. Because this is where it all comes to the head.
Yeah.
What is the real purpose of Maddie's B plot? It's to
pour whiskey, to have her friend pour whiskey on the control board. Yeah.
It's to reveal Mechagodzilla. And it's to also what?
They could have done that without them, though. Like, this another thing is, like, you could have just avoided it. Could have just not had them. Could have went about the whole, like, uncovering.
It could have been a surprise.
Apex bullshit in some other fashion, not some podcaster who Maddie likes and is a super fan of and has to meet up with, and I don't know. That's
the problem. Yeah. If you're going to include characters from the previous movies, use them in ways that are more productive.
Yeah.
Like, and this is a problem with these movies. They rotate the cast out like it's I don't even know what to compare it to. They just keep rotating the casts out. So we never get to really know any of them.
Same story every time, different.
I mean, can you imagine if they did that with the Marvel movies?
Yeah.
It's jarring for the audience, especially when you're trying to create a MonsterVerse, and you need to have some consistency between characters. Serizawa kind of did that, but he was killed off in King of the Monsters. In this movie, we don't see Bradley Whitford's character. We don't see anybody other than Maddie and Kyle Chandler, Mark Russell and Maddie Russell. But basically everything they had to find a way, I guess, to write them into the movie. I don't know the details of it. But it seems like we could have gotten either A, Mechagodzilla could have been a surprise at the end. Like, and it could have kept up the illusion that, oh, why is Godzilla attacking Hong Kong now?
Mm-hmm.
Why is he attacking Hong Kong? And then you reveal why at the end. Just, it would kind of be a Ring theory in that sense, where you get at the beginning of the movie the reveal of the eye, which is, I believe, it's pissing Godzilla off because it's giving off an alpha bioacoustic signal.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a threat.
And again, I had no clue.
I feel like the surprise aspect would be better.
Dude,
or you could do like,
cool, though.
or you could do like being a third-person point of view, audience point of view of being in the room with the villains when none of the main characters are.
Yeah.
Almost omniscient point of view in that sense. That we're in on what the villains are doing, but the rest of them aren't. But I feel like maybe the mystery aspect would have been better. Like, then people would be like, oh shit, it's Mechagodzilla, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It's Robo-Godzilla. No, it's Mechagodzilla.
Mechagodzilla.
Why do you...
So he gets to help weaken it, and he gets to give him the name. This Josh kid that nobody cares about. Come on.
Well...
He names him and destroys the control panel. Stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some laughs with this band of characters in the add-on featurettes. The director talks about how all three of those characters, all three of those actors and actresses got along really well, and they had a lot of fun.
Well, good for them.
That's fun.
That's all great. But what's the role in the movie?
It's like J.J. Abrams'
necessary.
commentary track on The Force Awakens. How he can just, all he has to say is how great everybody was.
It's superfluous.
Yeah, no.
Their role in the movie was superfluous.
Yeah.
And then all you get at
is
the
the
end
movie
is,
good?
oh, Mark doesn't even ask. Emma, how did you get here? Not Emma. How did you get here, Madison? Why are you in Hong Kong, by the way?
Mm-hmm. Yikes.
Like, but, oh yeah, well, she did call him on a cell phone and she was breaking in and out, but all you get is
like
Kyle
saying,
Chandler
hey,
looking concerned.
Hey, was the movie good? It was fun to make. That's what I'll say. Yeah, but was it good? Like, do you think it turned out the way you wanted?
Yeah.
Damn, it was a lot of fun, though. Yeah, but was it good? You almost had me.
The actors
had a great
fun,
time.
and they all
Everybody
liked each
got
other.
along.
Yeah.
Our craft services team was great. We had snacks. We finished it, which is key. Yeah, but in the editing room, how's it coming? Like, is it coming
very
together?
Very critical.
I'm actually not in the editing room. I don't do that.
But the guys that are in there are so good. And they get along too.
And they're telling me they're having fun with the VFX in this.
Yeah.
But is it a good
That's
movie?
what they tell me. They're just having a good time.
Well, let me tell you about the score. Man, let's talk about the score. Yeah.
Speaking
what
of
else
the score,
can I deflect
Godzilla's
to?
theme, every time it plays Godzilla's theme, I'm like, yup.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of rap beats coming, though, because it reminds me of this song. Let me try to find it for you. You keep talking, I'll find it.
Okay. Well, Act 3, I love. I'm going to actually wait to talk about that because it's cool. It's a cool moment. But, yeah.
Yep. Great.
Yep.
Keep talking about it.
Joel, while he's looking for that, what thoughts do you have? Maybe we can start talking about Ren Shirazawa or maybe Ghidorah's role in the bigger picture here.
I'm still. If I were to pick my top gripes. Oh, there it is.
Sorry.
There it is.
No, that's not it.
That's not it.
That wasn't it.
It would be the Shirazawa
us.
character and the kids. And that's, I mean, those are the two big things for me. But as a whole,
okay.
like.
All right, this is what it reminded me of.
Preparation H feels pretty good.
This is what it reminded me of. Just a sec. All right, just a second.
Well,
All right, this is what it reminded me of.
yeah. Oh!
Just got to put they got to just put a flat brim hat and a gold chain on Godzilla. There you go.
Yes. I would love to see that. Godzilla versus Kong rap battle.
Like a swag walk, he walks in.
That's what I should have fucking done, dude. A rap battle. No, what I did is way better.
Dude.
You guys are going to love it. Oh, man.
Does that remix come from the Godzilla music originally?
I don't think so. I don't know. That's
because that was straight quoted from Godzilla
Pharaoh
versus Mothra.
Munch, Simon Says.
Oh man, that was a straight quote from Godzilla music.
What? Oh,
that,
maybe.
Bum, 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 bum. That's from music. Obviously, but
such a cool song.
Okay, I want to talk about Serizawa because this is what I was going to mention earlier. So apparently, that came up during an AMA with the director. Godzilla vs. Kong director reveals why Serizawa's son was brushed aside by Megan Peters, comicbook.com. And the choice was made simply because of time. I just didn't have the time in the plot to get more into it. Felt interesting, so leaving it mysterious. I hear the novelization expands on that. I need to check it out, Weingart answered before adding a bit more about the novelizations. I hear it has a lot of scenes that were never in the script, even in the script. Should be cool to see that take. Also, I hope it expands on the monster's inner thoughts. Apparently, as the book puts it, Ren felt his father never gave him enough attention in light of Ishiro's obsession with Godzilla. However, the boy looked up to his dad, and he hoped to imitate him in certain ways. However, his jealous nature brought him into leagues with Apex Cybernetics, where his genius would be used to antagonize Godzilla, to Ishiro's eternal shame.
Great.
For better or worse, the Serizawa bloodline wasn't factored into Godzilla or Kong, and I am going to go on the opinion that it was for worse.
Yeah, it was.
Because it's disrespectful to one of the main characters.
Like, give him a line where he's like, my father, hold on.
Wow, there it is.
I'm glad I'm not in that room.
Hang on. I gotta go blow.
You gotta go blow what?
Man.
About it.
Yourself? Okay.
I hope he meant nose. Okay.
See you never.
Okay. But what is your take on that, Joel?
On what?
On all the Serizawa thing and his role in the movie, how it wasn't expanded.
Sounds like a lot like what happened with the sequel trilogy of Star Wars.
Yeah, I knew. I had a feeling you were going there.
That's basically the only reference point I have with it. It's like, oh, wow, that would have been really good if it was in the movie. You know, it's the same type of shit.
To quote you, nope, put it in the fucking book.
Nope, put it on fucking comicbook.com. Yep.
But that's too bad. That's too bad. I just think it was disrespectful to the lineage of like one of the most solemn characters and one of the most, you know.
I think, you know what? If you didn't have time for it, like you said, don't put the character in there.
Don't make it a Serizawa.
Make it somebody else.
Right.
Make it some other fucking whack job scientist.
And you turn him into a villain.
Yeah.
Kinda. And he gets scorched. He gets roached.
Yeah.
It's a bad end to the Serizawa bloodline. Good night.
Killer cats.
I mean, they could have threw in a line like, "My father never believed in me."
But then you get into like telling and not showing again.
Well, at least it's something.
Like maybe you could have had a flashback of like Ren, if you had more time with the character, like a flashback with him and his dad. And that would bring Serizawa back in for a cameo.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool. Fine with that. And it would have showed us, just like with the brother thing.
That's why I had to do the character spotlight.
Earlier, when they're about to go through the portal, he's like talking about how cool it's going to be and how amazed that they're all going to be going through the wormhole. It's like, dude, this should be an emotional moment for you because your brother died trying to do the same thing that you're doing right now. And you're not even emotionally fazed by it. But yet you go on a whole soliloquy about explaining to Mr. Apex CEO about what happened to your brother. you know?
Yeah.
And first of all, he didn't even need to ask him what about that, but because it didn't factor into the plot. But anywho, I just want to ask, how many people you think died in Hong Kong that night?
Just a couple.
Do you think Monarch takes tallies on this? Well, sir, Mr. Harry, sir.
Yeah, how many
Bernard?
How many funerals do they got to pay for?
I know, and it's like, listen here, Colonel. We only had 50,000 casualties this time. San Francisco had 60, so we're doing a little better.
Our numbers are trending down, sir.
By the way, Lance Reddick is in this movie for about 10 seconds.
Who is that?
AKA Commander Zavala from Destiny 2. Joel?
I wouldn't
know. The purple
know.
guy?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the voice actor, so.
He kind of talks like
this.
this.
That guy?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
Like
he's in
Guardian,
John Wick.
I'm sending you to the planet.
White House Down.
Yes, he's in the movie. He's the leader. He's the commander of Monarch, actually. The chairman, whatever. But he's in it for like 2 scenes.
Okay.
They had a board. Apparently, my roommate told me he did a little trivia stuff. They had a boardroom meeting, like a briefing scene that he is basically leading in, and they cut it out. So he, as a result, he's in it for like 2 5-second scenes where he gets like 2 lines.
Yeah, he gets some lines.
And it's kind of disappointing because we knew who Lance Reddick was.
Well, you did.
And he's in it for... Kyle Chandler's in the movie longer than him.
Yeah, but he still
and Kyle Chandler got interviewed for the movie, and he's in it for like 3 minutes.
People know Kyle Chandler.
And all he does is yell at his daughter and her friend.
And squint.
And squint and look concerned. Not quite like... Yeah.
I don't know.
She drinking bleach? No.
Yeah. Smells like bleach in here.
Maddie, you spent $833 on bleach.
I just bathed.
That was a Home Alone reference.
So dumb. It was good. I liked it.
Kevin!
Fight. Back to the fight.
Back to the fight. Back to the plot.
That roar off.
Oh, dude.
Like, cool.
One of my favorite moments. That's what I was going to tell you about. I love that scene. I love that.
Yeah, it was cool.
They're just yelling at each other.
They're just yelling at each other, but you see Kong's face, and he's like...
Yeah.
Like you're spitting on me.
Brush your fucking teeth.
Then they nod. Then don't they nod to each other? Just like, cool.
I don't think so.
That was Kong submitting.
Godzilla nods.
That was Kong, like, submitting. He had to submit. Yeah.
Kong got his 2 cents in, and then he let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Fine, if it means that much to you,
he's like, damn, dude,
I'll
fine,
go rule Holloworth,
whatever.
you stay up here,
Godzilla put his foot down, dude. Literally, on his chest. He just roared in his face. The framing of it was cool. Like, you get an actual nice medium shot of Godzilla's face as he's roaring. And then they both got spit strings in their mouth as they're screaming at each other.
Gross.
It's so cool. It's like a show of dominance. It's so cool.
And then Godzilla's about to say something. He's like, hang on, actually, Mecha guy, I gotta go get this guy. Just give me 1 second. You'll be here when I get back. Cool. Because I just want to make it official. There's a ceremony, and I kind of want you to be there. You were a worthy adversary. I want to see you bow. So just give me 1 sec. I'm gonna get my medical team. Guys, come on in. I flew in a medical team. I got my medics. They'll take care of you. And I gotta go get this Mecha me.
Mecha me.
and then when it's all over. And when it's all over and they're walking their separate ways, Kong goes, "Hey, I'll get my medical team on it." And then he goes, "You furry son of a bitch." I like your style. And then Kong goes, yours ain't bad
Silently?
either. And then jumps down the hole, Hollow Earth. End of movie.
Dude, did you guys see... Okay, so, let me tell you. When I was looking for clips and stuff for Kong, Skull Island, and Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Godzilla, all that, for the editing process, I was spoiled of the Mechagodzilla thing, which stunk.
Yeah.
And I did see a glimpse of, like, these videos. It's called, like, Godzilla's Evil Laugh, or Godzilla Laughs.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Kong. And I was like,
I'm
I'm only imagining how this is taking place in the movie. I'm like imagining, like, because you see that screenshot of him grinning, of Godzilla kind of grinning. He has that shit-eating grin. And I'm just imagining him going, or something like that, like just goofy as heck. It's kind of subtle in the movie, though.
It is.
Kind of subtle in the movie,
I
but
want to watch
still...
this evil laugh here.
Yeah.
He does do it. Here it is, Joel. Oh, I missed it. Where is it?
It's when it shows him on smiling.
Oh, it's coming up.
It shows his face.
Oh, it's coming up. Stupid. I felt bad for Kong several times in this movie. Like when he got hit with the beam in the back and he's like making that whimpering sound. I'm like, oh. And then like when he's in the cold and he goes, brr. That made me sad.
It made me sad when they take advantage of the death of his family to coerce him into leading them. And it made me sad when he gets defeated by Godzilla again. And he's just kind of like, ugh.
Hey, Godzilla's king of the monsters. You don't fudge with King of the Monsters.
And his whole situation's just sad.
Yeah, he's an orphan.
When he keeps getting beat up,
be a king.
He's just trying to relax on Skull Island, which is cool.
He's just trying to scratch his butt and take waterfall showers, dude.
I like how they based Hollow Earth on Skull Island.
I feel like they're gonna put gonna put Kong in an ASPCA commercial.
Oh no!
What's ASPCA? Oh. I'm gonna punch you both in the face. Stop it.
Okay.
There are thousands of Kongs out there.
Okay.
I'm not doing
For
that.
just
I'm not making fun of
cents
that.
a day,
I'm not making fun of
you
that.
could rescue a Kong. It just shows Kong going, actually, I live here. I'm fine. I'm the king around here. You see? He's delusional. He has mental instability, confidence issues. He thinks he's king.
And then
for 25
squash.
cents, you just said 10. For 12 cents, you can sponsor a Kong.
No. Yeah. But so I noticed that the leader of Apex dies in the same way as John Goodman. With the
he says
inevitable words, "Oh shit."
The famous last words. Oh
Yes.
shit, yes.
Famous last words. Is that a trend in these
That's what
movies
Kong
moving
said.
forward?
Yeah, it's like Star Wars is. I got a bad feeling about this.
Which they didn't have.
Marvel's,
Okay, I'm not going there. But anyway,
whatever they do, or any of those, they have to throw in the line. Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah. Oh
right
shit.
before death.
What was John Goodman's character's name again?
Branda.
Randa.
Bill Randa.
Randa.
His voice is featured in the introduction
It is, yeah.
when he's talking about Skull Island.
I got excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts? Anybody? What do
Loved
we got?
it,
What do we got?
fun. I'm a sucker for a good team up. And when Kong jumps on the back of Mechagodzilla and then Godzilla powers the axe, oh, it was so cool. It reminded me of kind of when, you saw, like when Bucky and Captain America were beating up on Iron Man. They were tossing the shield back and forth, using it. Or actually, what it reminded me of, more so of when... I can't. We're gonna talk about that movie.
Godzilla can't
when
use the axe.
When a character powered up a different character in Endgame. So, there it is.
I'm nodding, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, it's when
don't shut up. No.
For Endgame.
We don't need to say it.
Spoiler alert for Endgame. Yeah, we do. Spoiler alert. Endgame.
Okay.
It's been out. It's 2 years. You say when Iron Man's like, "All right, Thor, hit me," and then Thor thunders him.
Oh yeah.
And powers him up, and then he goes. Zzz.
Watch a few episodes from now. We're gonna say, "Remember that."
Remember that.
Speaking of which, I've been listening to our show while I'm just listening back to some older episodes while I'm working at UPS.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. Fun old times
good
there.
time.
Fun old.
Joel, you still with us?
Barely.
Anyway, closing thoughts. What do you want?
Right.
I guess I'll take the second place here. I thought it was good. It was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. The cinematography, the fight cinematography was way better. I'm glad they didn't go the documentary guerrilla shooting route. Pun wasn't intended there.
Yes,
but
it was.
I love the broader concepts and the world building that they're introducing with the Hollow Earth stuff that they've been building up to since Skull Island. But I don't think they had an idea of what it was going to be when they made that. But they took it to this level, this sci-fi level here. Very cool. Very interesting possibilities moving forward with that.
I really hope we get more.
I know. Interesting how they made Godzilla back into like a villain sort of character, like an anti-hero.
For a little bit.
Love the empathizing with Kong, the deaf Iwi girl, Gia, very good use of her character. Some of the human aspects are redeemable, like especially with the Kong plot.
I'll agree with that.
Mechagodzilla was cool. It was a cooler rendition of like the BVS and Spider-Man 3 sort of trope. But just find another way to reveal Mechagodzilla, keep it a mystery. I know, I realize I'm just summing everything up, but just the Maddie plot. If you're gonna have them in there just because they were in the last movie, then use them in a better way.
Yes.
Make it more relevant. And stick with a consistent cast for Pete's sakes. Yes. I hand the baton to you, Joel.
Okay.
If you're still breathing.
Yep.
You have the floor. Go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah, so I hope we get more too. Like I said, my favorite moment, aside from the final fight, of course, was when they were down there in the temple and they expanded upon the history, the lore, the mythology of what came before. So let's see it, and I hope they do make another film, and I hope it is a prequel. I want a prequel, and I want the prequel of what happened before the humans. I don't know how they're going to work that, but
you hear that, Adam?
Adam
Weingart?
You know they're going to put a human in there.
Right, I know. Inevitable. But I would love a prequel of some sort that explores the Kong's race and Godzilla's race. You know? You know, where's Mama Godzilla? Where's Papa Godzilla? I don't know.
It would add more
does he have
depth.
Parents?
Yeah, right. I don't know. Or has it just been Godzilla all along? I don't know. So,
more depth
Dude,
the
it was
MonsterVerse.
Dude, his brother Dougzilla, I told you, is in the Hollow Earth.
I just want
He eats the
to.
crab.
Bottom line is, yes, this movie suffered yet again with pointless human plot lines, and you know what? The next one, how about we just focus on the monsters? That's about all I got.
You
I
get
think
three
it was,
people.
I think the Mechagodzilla was a perfect example of good fan service.
Yes.
And just a lot of other things were good fan service. And I think the people who have critiques about this film not being deep enough or whatever are yet again getting lost in the fact that you are going to the wrong movie then. Like you are taking part in something you should probably find out a little bit more about before you go to the theater.
Right. You need to have a certain set of expectations when you come into this. I mean, look at the introduction after the opening credits with the logo, the Godzilla versus Kong, and it's like shown like a WWE like matchup sort of thing, and it's like, okay, this is what we're getting into.
Right.
Have some expectations going into the movie.
Oh, and Kong has entered the ring on the back of Mechagodzilla.
He gets the chair.
He gets the axe, and ow, baby slices his arms off.
Kick his little monkey ass.
Do you have anything to say to Godzilla before you fight him next week, Kong? Yeah. I just want to say that when I come into Hong Kong next week to battle Godzilla, I am going to rip his spike off and make another axe because I got something special for him. And if he wants to come in here, I'm going to show him the true King of the Monsters. And this was recorded earlier. Godzilla sent a message to you, Colin. You want to hear it?
Whoa.
That little bit. Of course I want to hear it.
And here comes Macho Man Godzilla. Whoa.
You know what, brother? You think you're the king, but you're not. You're just a big gorilla walking around on Skull Island thinking like you own this place. Well, let me tell you something. I own the whole world. I don't just need to be secluded on this island. I'm the king of all the monsters. What monsters that you've never even heard of? I rule all of them. I got a turtle that lives in a mountain, brother. I rule him too. The ones that fly in the sky for your pretty little buddies to look up at. I rule them too. You see that volcano over there? I rule the volcano. You can't take me on, brother. And if you think you're the real king, you're not. I'm a superior being. I can breathe fire, brother. And if you think you're gonna come into the ring in Hong Kong, you got another thing coming. Oh man, it's gonna be a bloodbath, and I'm not talking about my blood. I'm talking about your blood, Kong. Queen Kong, should I say? That's what I have to say about that. I can't wait for the fight on Saturday night at 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock Eastern, brother, on CBS. Back to you.
Godzilla is ready. Anyway.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
Took a lot out of me too.
Who's the guy that does the interview in those classic clips of Randy?
I don't know.
Oh, and he talks like this. Oh, wow. Don't you be looking at
Strong
Elizabeth.
words from a strong man.
Are we done with...
You're not going to want to miss this fight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, and good night. Yeah, we can be done.
You know what? And with that, that's a perfect spot. You've been listening to... You've been listening. I know, we got to get out of here so Joel can stretch his ass some more. But we...
Time to spread them. All right.
Okay. Nope. But you've been listening to Sequel Men, the podcast, Godzilla vs. Kong edition. Thank you for tuning in, and we're glad you did. This has been a fun recording. We're glad you're here with us.
Yeah.
And we hope you've been listening to our other episodes too, which you can find on probably where you found this one. Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, What am I forgetting?
Apple, Google. All of them.
Well, all of them. Anywhere you want to listen to podcasts, you could probably find us.
Probably.
And if you can't find us, then let us know.
Yeah. And you can let us know by emailing the show. We'll get personal. We'll get up close and personal, brother. sequelmen19@gmail.com. And then we're on the Twitter at sequelmen19. We're on Instagram at, it's not COVID, it's my cats. They kill me every night. I wonder if listeners, like, think they're listening, like, does he get sick every night toward the end of the thing? Yeah, it's the cat, because she's just in here. But Instagram
you can find us on our email
and on the Facebook. We're in the video realm now, posting teasers. Thank you to Joel for heading that up.
Yeah,
and,
you're not going to see my face on this one. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
we're not missing much. So
yeah, write us a review, all that shit. Thanks for listening, regardless of whether you write it or not. Okay, that's go ahead.
That's my cue. Is that my line?
That hurt my throat.
Okay. That was the cat, everybody.
That's also
just pin it on the cat again.
No,
okay.
That was Randy Macho Man Savage.
We and Randy cannot wait until the next one, which is our wrap up. We're getting ready for the wrap up, but we can't wait until the next one.
That's right, Christian, because here at Sequelmen the podcast,
all films are created sequel, brother. No, but when I was doing that Randy Macho Man stuff like that, my voice.
I'm gonna stop recording.
I had my
all
second,
the mannerisms were there, dude. Yeah.
I wasn't even looking. My eyes were closed. I couldn't even see. Got my second shot yesterday.
Yeah.
Feeling nothing. Which is perfect.
I'm getting mine Tuesday at 8 a.m.
I mean, it just depends on how you've taken. Like, if you have reactions to other... I'm going to stop recording, too.
Yeah, me too.